If you're planning day trips from Lisbon and are looking for a mix of history, culture, and outstanding seafood, all just an hour away, Setúbal is a destination you shouldn't miss. This vibrant city of over 90,000 people sits on the edge of the beautiful Saddle River estuary, offering a rich mix of local life, historic charm, and seaside flavor. On this video, we'll show you how to get to Setúbal and how to get around once you're there, what to see, where to eat, and some extra advice to make your day trip smooth, fun, and totally worth it. Hola, ¿qué tal? Hello and welcome to the channel where we want you to be happier traveling through the Iberian Peninsula with the help of our self-guided walking tours. This isn't a full all-seasons guide to Setúbal because we visited in winter on a grey and chilly day. We love sunshine as much as anyone, but sometimes you just have to work with what you get. Because of that, we didn't get the chance to try out some of the city's popular summer activities like boat trips, dolphin watching, or the beach. Still, everything we cover in this video can be enjoyed year-round, and if you're visiting during the summer, just think of those extras as a bonus. Setúbal is located about 50 kilometers southeast of Lisbon. You could get there by car or by bus, but we went for the scenic route, our favorite option whenever it's available, the train. The trip takes around 50 minutes with departures every 20 minutes and is operated by the private company Fertagus. The train line starts at Roma Areeiro station in Lisbon and also stops at Entrecampos, Sete Rios and Campolide before leaving Lisbon and crossing the stunning 25th of April bridge over the Tagus River. Wherever you board, look for the signs that say comboios, that's Portuguese for trains. Check the station screens for the Setúbal-bound train and the platform it will be using. In this case, LN stands for line and our train was departing from platform 4. Before boarding the train, you will need to validate your trip. You can use the ticket machines, but we recommend a more convenient option, the Navigante card loaded with zapping credits, your best travel companion in Lisbon. We've added a link below the video explaining exactly how the Navigante system works. At the platform, tap your card on a blue validator machine. The screen will ask you to select your destination. You will choose Setúbal, then confirm. Tap your card again and the 5.50 fare will be discounted automatically. You will have to do the same thing on the way back. If you don't have a Navigante card, a contactless bank card works as well. You will recognize the train easily. Blue double-decker carriages with no seat reservations. It's a commuter-style train, first come, first served. One of the highlights of the journey happens just minutes after leaving Lisbon. The train rolls onto the lower deck of the 25th of April bridge, with dramatic views over the estuary. Make sure to grab a window seat if you can. When you arrive in Setúbal, the train station is located just north of the city center. You could walk downhill, it's about 20 to 30 minutes to the market we will show you in a moment. During our stay, we used ride-sharing services, or TVDEs as they are called in Portugal, whenever distances were a bit long. Both Bolt and Uber operate in Setúbal and prices are very reasonable. Now let's dive into what to see and to do in Setúbal. Most of the main attractions are located in or near the city center and you can easily explore them all on foot, with just one exception, the fort, which sits just outside town on a hilltop overlooking the bay. To kick off our visit, we used our rideshare to reach out our first stop of the day, and from there we continued exploring the city on foot. The extraordinary Mercado do Livramento is an absolute must-see in Setúbal, a local market like no other in Portugal. It first opened its doors in 1876 and for decades it was where the entire city came to shop for food. As Setúbal grew, the market was expanded and during the 1930 renovation, nearly 6,000 decorative tiles were added. You will find them while you enter the market and along the back walls, illustrating scenes of fishing and rural life in beautiful blue and white tiles. While you'll certainly spot other tourists here, this is definitely a real working market, full of locals doing their daily shopping and chatting with friendly stallholders. One section of the market is dedicated to fresh fruit and vegetables with colorful displays and lots of local produce. You will also find a bakery and pastry stands where you can sample regional treats like the famous tortas de aceitón. We'll come back to those later. We never skip a local delicacy. There are also cheese and dairy stalls, and some of the cheese come in small formats, perfect to take back to Lisbon, or just grab a fresh loaf from the bakery and make yourself an instant picnic. But the real star of the show, the fish and seafood. The back of the market is lined with stall after stall of mind-blowingly fresh and varied catches, a dazzling display of the region's fishing culture. If you want to see this part of the market at its most lively, make it your first stop of the day. The Mercado do Livramento is more than just a food market, it's a uniquely Portuguese experience and honestly a reason in itself to visit Setúbal. A quick note on planning, the market is open Tuesday to Sunday, so if you are thinking of visiting Setúbal, avoid Mondays or you will miss this essential part of the city. Just a short walk from the market brings you to Praça de Bocage, the lively heart of Setúbal. In the center of the square stands a statue of Manuel Maria Barbosa de Bocage, one of Portugal's most celebrated poets and a native of the city. This is an important gathering place for locals, surrounded by a mix of historical buildings. The standout is the Passos do Concelho, the city hall, with origins in the 16th century and a major reconstruction in the 20th. Nearby is the Igreja de São Julião, a church originally built in the 1500s and rebuilt several times over the centuries. You will also find the Casa do Turismo, a great stop if you'd like to sample some local wines from the Setúbal region. The narrow side streets leading off the square are perfect for a bit of spontaneous exploring, full of small shops, tiled facades and glimpses of local life. Just a couple of blocks away, you will reach the Convento e Igreja de Jesus, one of Setúbal's most important historic landmarks. Built in the 15th century, the convent and church are considered one of the first examples of Manueline architecture, a distinctively Portuguese late Gothic style. Unfortunately, we found it closed during our visit, but we are definitely planning to return for a proper look next time. From there, make your way along the Avenida Luisa Todi, a wide boulevard named after a famous Portuguese mezzo-soprano from the end of the 18th century. Along the way, keep an eye out for the Chafariz do Sapal, a Baroque 17th century fountain that was relocated to its present location in the 20th century. It's tucked into a small square on the right-hand side. And just a few minutes further, you'll spot the striking blue tones of the Casa da Bahia, the House of the Bay, our next stop. The Casa da Bahia is housed in an elegant 18th century manor and serves as Setúbal's main tourist information center. But it's much more than that. Inside, you will also find a cozy cafe, a shop selling local food specialties, and even a small exhibition space. One of the highlights inside the house is the Cires, the Sado Estuary Bottlenose Dolphin Interpretative Center. It's dedicated to one of Setúbal's most iconic residents, the bottlenose dolphins that live in the nearby waters. Setúbal's deep connection with the sea is hard to miss, and if you continue walking along the middle stretch of Avenida Luisa Todi, you will come across a sculpture of two dolphins, a reminder of the special bond between the city and the ocean that surrounds it. At the end of the avenue, you will come across a fantastic visual resource called Setúbal Terra de Peixe, Setúbal Land of Fish. It's a large wall display featuring beautifully detailed reproductions of the main fish species caught in the region, along with informative panels in both Portuguese and English. It's a fun and useful stop, especially if you've been spotting unfamiliar names on restaurant menus. Here you can finally put a face to those fish and seafood dishes you've heard about or are planning to try. But this wall is more than just educational. It is also a tribute to Setúbal's deep-rooted fishing heritage, a connection that's still alive and thriving today. One species gets special attention, the choco, or cuttlefish, which has become something of a culinary symbol of the city. Right in front, you'll even find a statue dedicated to the cuttlefish, a light-hearted homage to one of Setúbal's most beloved dishes. The Terra de Peixe wall marks the farthest point we reached from the center of Setúbal, at least for the time being. From here, we began walking back toward the city along the oceanfront promenade, where you will see traditional fishing boats docked along the edge of the harbor. As you stroll along the seafront, you'll come across the charming Golfinho Parade, a series of painted dolphin sculptures that once again highlights Setúbal's special relationship with these mammals. Each one is decorated in a unique style, turning the promenade into a kind of open-air art gallery. At this point in our visit, it was time for lunch. We'll show you exactly where in the upcoming food section. Once we had eaten, we called a rideshare to take us into the hills for our next stop, the Forte de São Filipe, the Fort of Saint Philip, with sweeping views over Setúbal and the bay. Perched just above Setúbal, the Fort of Saint Philip was built as a powerful defensive bastion to protect the city and control the entrance to the Sado River estuary. Construction began in 1582, the same year King Philip II visited Setúbal, inspiring this impressive fortress. The fort's design is striking, shaped like a six-pointed star with an outer wall surrounding it, creating a formidable stronghold. From its walls and ramparts, you will enjoy stunning panoramic views over the city, the river, and the ocean beyond. A perfect stop for photos or just soaking in this scenery. Inside the fort, don't miss the small but beautiful 18th century chapel, notable for its rectangular shape and exquisite tile decorations illustrating scenes from the life of Saint Philip. Currently, the castle is undergoing extensive repairs, so for the time being, entry is free while work continues. It's open Tuesday to Sundays, closed on Mondays. At the top, you will find a lovely cafe with an outdoor terrace and a tastefully decorated interior, a great place to relax and recharge after exploring. After our visit, we called a rideshare to take us back down to the city center for the next stop on our tour. One of the most pleasant surprises on our Setúbal trip was the Museu do Trabalho Michel Giacometti, the Museum of Work Michel Giacometti, located in a former canning factory. This museum is dedicated to preserving the history of the industries that shaped Setúbal's economy for decades, with a special focus on the canning industry. At its peak, Setúbal was Portugal's largest canning port, home to around 140 factories, though none remain today. Inside, you will find fascinating exhibits that recreate parts of the old factory, showing not only how the work was done, but also the harsh living conditions of the workers and the labor struggles they endured to improve wages and working conditions. All the displays include information panels in Portuguese and English. Another highlight is a detailed reproduction of Mercearia Liberdade, a grocery shop from the late 19th century, once located on Lisbon's upscale Avenida da Liberdade. You will see original furniture, including an antique cash register, along with utensils and replicas of the goods that were sold, a real trip down memory lane. The museum is open Tuesday to Saturday, closed on Mondays and Sundays, and there is a small entrance fee. After you visit, take a short walk just outside the museum to the viewpoint of San Sebastian, where you will be rewarded with lovely views over the city and the Saddle River. Our final stop of the day, as we walked back toward the railway station, was the Se Catedral, Setúbal's cathedral dedicated to Our Lady of Grace. Compared to many other cathedrals, this one is quite modest, but it holds deep historical significance. Originally built in the 13th century and rebuilt in the 16th century, the city of Setúbal itself grew up around this very church. The cathedral features a Mannerist facade, while the walls are covered with tiles and the ceilings and columns are adorned with delicate frescoes. The golden, richly decorated altarpiece adds a touch of grandeur to the otherwise humble interior. Entry is free, making it a welcoming spot for a quiet moment before you finish your visit. To wrap up, here's a quick look at the route we followed in Setúbal, starting and ending at the railway station. On the map, the yellow line shows the parts we covered using ride-sharing services, while the blue line marks the sections we explored on foot. Now it's time to talk about one of the best parts of visiting Setúbal, the food. You will find plenty of restaurants scattered around the city, especially near the ocean front, where seafood lovers gather to enjoy the freshest catches. For lunch, we headed to Ancora Azul, which means Blue Anchor, a simple, well-loved spot right by the port. They serve a rodizio de peixe, basically an all-you-can-eat fish experience. Waiters circulate with trays of different grilled fish, offering a variety of fresh local flavors. When we visited, the fixed price was $17.90, which included a drink and unlimited servings of a comforting little soup made from bread and potatoes, as well as, of course, grilled fish. The fish on offer depends on what came in fresh that morning, but we managed to try around 10 different types, including the iconic choco frito, the fried cuttlefish, a true symbol of Setúbal. For dessert and coffee, we stopped at the Tortas de Aceitão pastry shop in the city center. Their signature sweet, also called Tortas de Aceitão, is a soft sponge cake filled with a sweet egg cream, delicately flavored with lemon and cinnamon. We thought it was absolutely delicious, even better than the version we tried on an earlier trip in Aceitão itself. To finish off our day before catching the train back to Lisbon, we made a quick dinner stop at Rei do Choco Frito, literally king of fried cuttlefish, located close to the museum we visited earlier. No surprises here, we ordered a generous crispy portion of fried cuttlefish, perfect for rounding out the day. And just like that, we were back on the train, heading home, full and happy after a fantastic day in Setúbal. And as we make our way back to Lisbon, here are a few thoughts about the Setúbal day trip. Setúbal is the perfect escape from Lisbon's busiest and most tourist-packed areas, both in terms of crowds and prices. It truly feels like a genuine Portuguese city. While you will meet some visitors, most of the people you will come across are locals going about their day. This makes for a relaxed, unhurried experience. Unlike Lisbon, here you will not find lines to worry about. Just plenty of interesting places to explore at your own pace. It's all about soaking up the calm, quiet rhythm of everyday life in Setúbal. And then, of course, there's the food. If you love fish, Setúbal's strong connection to the sea means fresh seafood arrives at the restaurants on a daily basis and at a fraction of what you would pay in Lisbon. Right next to Setúbal lies the stunning Arrábida Natural Park, known for its breathtaking landscapes, excellent food, and great wines. We tried an organized trip to the park and the region in another video, which you can see right here on the screen. If you want to add even more unforgettable experience to your Lisbon itinerary, definitely give the video a look. We're waiting for you there.